Drowning in debt? Are your credit cards ruining your life? Cut them up. Get some envelopes. And do the envelope system. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. It is so easy and it is such a great tool in helping you get out of debt. Ready? Let's go. Hi everybody, it's Jessica here from Family Days. Welcome to another Financial Friday. Today I'm going to be talking about the envelope system. I'll go through and show you which envelopes my husband and I created, our sinking funds, etc. And yeah, so if you haven't already seen my video on the zero-based budget and you're unfamiliar with that, I will link that down below. And I will also link the video of our debt-free journey in case you are curious as to our story with debt and how we're planning to get out of it. But let's get started. So the first thing, like I said, check out my zero-based budgeting video, is you are going to want to create a budget. That is the number one thing. So what you want to do is go through, write down all of the automated payments that come out of your checking account every single month. Things like mortgage and rent, your utilities, your cell phone, your internet, anything that is automatically deducted from your checking account every month, write it down and include it in the budget. If you have any money left over after all those expenses are paid for, which hopefully you do, that is the money that you have to work with for your envelopes and the categories that you are going to be making for your envelopes. So now that you know what money you have to work with after your fixed expenses are figured out, you need to create the categories for your envelopes. Now you're going to have categories that you're going to be putting money into every month, and then you're also going to have sinking funds. So for an example, every month you're going to need to pull out money for your gas and your groceries, but those aren't sinking funds. You'll have an allotted amount, say $600 for groceries, so every month you go to the bank and you take out $600 and put that in the envelope, but you're going to be spending that money. Sinking funds are envelopes that you are going to be putting money into every month to sort of accrue a larger amount for something like a larger expense. For example, you could put $50 a month into an envelope for Christmas. So you're going to be accruing that $50 throughout the year, and then when Christmas time comes, you'll be spending it. So that's what a sinking fund is. Other examples of sinking funds could be if you need to buy tires for your car. You will save up each month for a certain amount of time until you go ahead and make that purchase. Birthdays are also could be a sinking fund. Anything like that. Obviously, if you're in debt, you don't want to have a ton of sinking funds because you want most of your money to be going towards your debt snowball. But you do obviously need some sinking funds so that you don't go into more debt. So let's get started. I will go through and show you which envelopes my husband and I are using. All right, so you can just get yourself a pack of envelopes from the dollar store. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need fabrics with zippers. Get some envelopes and let's get going. I wanted to start with saying that we get a large tax return each year. We have the most possible deductions taken out of his paycheck that we can. That way it's sort of like a bonus at the end of the year, sort of, it's essentially an envelope, you know, it accrues over the course of the year. I just like it because that's what we usually use for like big projects. So anyways, we get the tax return back, and then what we do is we divvy it up into envelopes. So I'm going to show you the envelopes that are stuffed purely based off this tax return money. These envelopes aren't taken out of our monthly budget. We deposit the tax return, pull out the money, and then stuff these envelopes based purely on that. So the first envelope is, if you can see that, chickens. We are getting chickens this year. So we are going to be putting, once we take the tax return money out, or deposit it, we are going to be putting $500 into the chicken envelope. That's going to cover the cost to build the coop, pay for the chickens, and pay for their feed throughout the year. We plan on giving them a lot of compost, but I'm sure we'll have to supplement with grain, obviously during the winter months. The next envelope is firewood. We have a wood burning stove in our basement that we use all winter long, so we are going to be buying $500 worth of firewood for that. The next envelope is our garden envelope. We are going to be putting $300 in the garden envelope. We need some new topsoil. That covers the cost of the seeds. I have like a little Mother's Day project in mind for the garden as well that will come out of that envelope. And then we also need fencing that goes around our garden because we have a lot of deer in this area. So the next one is the house fund. And we are putting $2,000 in that, and that is going to cover do-it-yourself projects, maintenance. Our outside of the house needs a lot of maintenance this year. Anything related to the house, I mean, we live in a fixer-upper, so there's tons of projects, so we are allotting $2,000 towards the house. The next envelope is homeschool, and that is $250. That just covers any of the materials that we need throughout the year, field trips that we may go on, arts and crafts supplies, anything related to schooling would come out of that envelope. Next is our home heating oil. So we are putting $2,000 in the home heating oil, and that will cover our oil for the year. And then the last envelope that gets stuffed based off our tax return is our Christmas and birthday envelope. And we are putting $850 in that. So those are all our envelopes that are stuffed purely off our tax return. And now I will get into our envelopes, our sinking funds, and these envelopes are all stuffed based off our monthly income. So the first one is clothes and shoes. We are going to be putting $25 a month in this envelope, and then when something comes up, like somebody needs a new pair of shoes or we need clothes, it will come out of here. Okay, so the next envelope is health. See that? My husband and I both have Lyme disease that we are treating naturally. We also take a lot of supplements, as do the kids. So we are putting $100 a month into this health envelope, and that will cover all of our essential oils, supplements, vitamins, anything related to that will go in that envelope. Next is groceries. So our grocery budget is $700 a month. So $700 each paycheck goes into this envelope. Next is gas. So $250 goes into the gas envelope each month. Next is our National Grid, which is our electric bill, and I allotted $180 a month towards this. Now, normally, I know people would say, why do you have a bill for your, electric bill? Why don't you just have it deducted from your paycheck or deducted from your bank account? But what I like to do is, especially in the summer months, we can get our electric bill down to below $100 or right about $100. So that leaves an extra $80 in cash. So what I do is I leave that $80 in here, and that way come the winter time when our electric bill can get up to around $200, I have like a little bit of a safety net. I'll also planning on taking, once enough of a safety net accrues, like say for a couple months it's only $100 and then I get $160 in here, then I'll start throwing that extra money towards our debt. So I like to just have the cash on hand. That's what works for us. You could certainly do what you like and what works for your family. Next is the personal category, and we will be putting $100 a month into this envelope. My husband and I will each get $50. And then next is the debt envelope. We are going to be putting $700 into this debt envelope each month. And so we will, at the very minimum, be paying off $700 a month towards our debt. And then if there's anything left over in the other envelopes, like say for example, my husband and I only spend 25 of our personal money, then we'll each take that 25 extra dollars, which would be $50 combined, and throw it towards our debt. So I'm hoping that I overestimated on a lot of these envelopes just because I wanted it to be realistic and not get frustrated. So like the groceries, I made sure that I was going to be able to stick to that budget. So there's definitely a lot of wiggle room with these envelopes, so I'm hoping that there will be leftover money in a lot of these categories that I can then use to throw additional money at our debt. At least that's the plan. And those are our envelopes. And I know a lot of people are sort of wary of like keeping that much cash around the house. What we did was we purchased a fireproof safe. You can get them off Amazon for, you know, like $20. I mean, they're pretty cheap. Make sure you get a bright colored one. I ended up getting this like hot pink one, and I am by no means like a pink person, but I had a firefighter tell me one time that if you were going to have a fireproof safe, make sure it's a bright color, because that would give them the best chance of actually finding the safe if your house burned down. You know, if they're searching through the wreckage, it's all black, so why would you have a black safe? It's just gonna blend in. So get a bright colored one. The envelope system is just so great. Using cash is just a wonderful tool in helping you get out of debt, because when you hand over those dollar bills, you feel it so much more than swiping your credit card. It's a visual reminder of that you're actually spending money. You know, swiping that credit card, it's so abstract that sometimes we forget that those dollar bills are actually adding up. So it's just such a great tool, and it's a very simple budgeting tool. It's like budgeting for dummies. If you have $50 a month of personal money to spend and you whale through it in the first 3 days, well, that's it for the month. So it's just brainless. We've been having so much luck with using it so far, and I would highly recommend it. And yeah, so let me know, are you using the envelope system? Comment down below, how are you liking it? Next Friday, I think I'm going to be doing a video on the SavvySense wallet. I just got it last week, so I might do it in 2 weeks, but I'm just sort of kind of getting accustomed to it, so I'm going to let you know how I like using that. So stay tuned for that. Thumbs up this video if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe. I'm going to be doing financial videos every Friday, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.